We've been muted this whole time. Thanks, Hamza
Hamza.
Picholo. Thank you. I hope we are audible now. So yeah. Let's continue.
No. So I was saying, I was just about to share like personal experience. The dynamics were such that because the family knew that we were going to have a white wedding subsequently, they also, when they computed the lobola and all of this, they were actually thinking also about contributing to the wedding.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, like, the bulk of what the lobola ended up being the family's contribution to the wedding, to the wedding of their daughter. So in that sense, it wasn't too onerous.
Yeah.
But it had served its function as well, you know.
So which is
being received
indobana ilobola ihambile
ihambile iyokwenza umsebenzi wayo kwakho ubuhlobo. Well, in some ways, you're trying to say, I am ready. I can take care of your daughter. I can bring something significant to the table if it's needed, and that sort of thing. And so it differs from family to family. Now, the story upon which we are anchoring our question perhaps is a bit of a challenge, because I did see that at some point, the wife, which is Upel, was saying, no, I don't need to answer to anyone, because apparently they already had, or they made arrangements for wedding. And people are asking, Njani ke engakagqibi ulobola?
Bangenaphi though?
You know, and then she said, no, look. So maybe that's not only her attitude. Maybe it's the attitude of the whole family. Maybe they don't mind. But it will be interesting to see what particular individuals think about ukulotyolwa in the first place, and then the second one, even if there is ilobola, do you have thresholds where you would say, no, I can say I consider myself as umakoti in that family if sifike to this level? Because I think that's an important one.
Because I mean, I think Hector, what you're touching on, ultimately that's what uzohamba uyosebenza kula family, and sometimes those family members kwangabo abaveza iskills kuthiwa akanga ugqitywe nolotyolwa lo ube usebenza apha, and so sometimes really the attitudes of families are very important in the aspect of ilobola negotiations. If the lobola negotiations between the families are cordial and kwavunyelwana, whether ubhatele kancinci or whatever, but if there has been an agreement, indobana you're only going to pay a third of ilobola and then the rest ungamthatha umntana, that's the agreement. People must stick to that agreement. So for Usilo to actually have to maybe now in the media have that kind of a setup for him in that particular aspect, without us knowing what was the initial agreement, or what happened before we get to this point. So those are some of the things that people sometimes, even family members, they do these things. And then they just say things that are, things that hurt people. And most of the time, azithethwa zinto ungekho mcimbi xa kho umcimbi, and then these things come up.
Exactly.
Even worse when it's the husband who says that.
That's even worse.
They're very chappy.
Yes.
Sometimes the argument is made akazondixhabisa ifi.
He
did.
But also I always say uyamazi umuntu wakho njani. If umuntu wakho xa esele ukhipha ifile, do you want to be with that person? Those are the questions. Those are the honest questions we need to ask ourselves nje as individuals. Okay, I'm getting myself into this thing. If that is their modus operandi, are you going to be able to stand and defend it now? Those are the questions, because
abakhona nyani kamajita akhupha ifile. In fact, even no madam, so mangathi amajita, because
not I'm saying individually. Like as individuals,
abantu
baqhaqha ifile apha,
and that's just wrong.
But I think the big thing about lobola is what it has come to mean. I mean, there's been a lot of talk about this commercialization of the lobola, and sometimes glaringly so. Literally, abantu bathi
namandla kaloku
si 10-10, as if they are coasting
Yes,
you know.
but
Yeah.
it's your responsibility
Which
as
is-
as a parent to do that.
Which
But
makes
also-
it a problem.
It
Yeah, but I
does.
also think, I mean, the advice for everyone, if you guys are going to, what Spokie was saying is proper. If you guys are about to start in the process of getting married, lobola, those discussions between when anomdu wako are very important. And ometem ngabo actually who hold the cards, you know, because he has a family yako. Bangabantu banjani. So nguwe ozofuneka uyotsho and I like this because sometimes you know uba kubani lifokotho likabani elifuneka uyolicofa endlini. Yazi uba uba ndiye kutata uba uyavana kakhulu notata yakho then ungumedem ngahambe uyotsho kutata yakho, but if uyazi utata yakho uqinile uyotsho kumamakho xele mama le way lena ifuneka ihambe ngohlobo
Old ups,
Yes.
or
Old
athethe
ups,
nomntakwabo
yeah.
or something, you know.
You know,
There has to be someone.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
there are always people that go around people abayazi ba hayi ba ubani uthethile hayi izinto zahamba ngomca.
Exactly.
So
But
it's very
you know,
important.
to be a little bit sentimental,
Yeah.
traditionally the whole idea here was that, okay, number one, besides having abantwana, is that there were all these things that people considered that if sesamnikwa lo mfazi, the way simazi ngakhona kunoxolo.
Yeah.
Her presence brings, you know, peace.
Yes.
And bakhona abantu abanjalo nyani.
Yeah.
When
Yes.
you say if ebekhona umama kabani apha,
Yes.
ngekho yonke
Yonke
into
le
eyenziwayo.
nto.
Yeah, sure.
So those sort
Exactly.
of subtle qualities that people would actually be looking for. This quality sibe nayo in our family.
Yes.
Abanye have got green fingers, you know. Yazi ba yonke into batyala iyahluma.
Yahluma, exactly.
All those sort of things, you know.
Yes.
Beyond the sort of almost vulgar monetization of this whole thing that it's turning into be.
So guys, we busy. The WhatsApp is 066-137-2723. If you wanna add some part of your sort of voice of wisdom to this discussion around umcimbi ogqitywa lobola. But the do you want umntu wakho ayigqibe okanye if xa inamandla uyigqibe mayigqibe? But does it really matter for you if igqityiwe okanye ayigqitywanga, as long as wena nomntu wakho nihappy nivumelana? Thina sobabini yeah, so but thina sobabini simnandi siyaqhuba siyaphambili. That's what matters to you. But also I think what Spokie is saying is important, that at the end of the day it mustn't come back to bite you. If umntu wakho yazi ba umbambe kwangoku sesekuqaleni bafondini uba uyigqibile we andizukwazi uqhuba, because kaloku you know uba ngumntu wakho ungumntu onjani odilishana naye. But at the same time, for families, what Hector is saying is also very important. The fundamentals of ilobola is relationship building. It's not the monetary value that gets attached to it. But also I think you find that in most families, guys, that's what people do. People want to go to a family in nemali indondoni, and therefore sizawupusha siyoma kulevel ethile, you know. And nala family nayo, you know, ibe iqonda hayi no sigrand sinangxaki. Abanye bakwazi uza one time. Yeah, baze one time bayiflash yonke la.
But you know, I've had instances where bakuloma court would say no. Can't come one time.
Yeah.
I think they'll be emphasizing the relationship building process.
Yeah.
It's more transactional, Taiwan.
You cannot just come. By the way, they are now even consultancies for
apparently.
Aye.
Literally,
no,
yes.
there is.
And lobola contracts. Like a pro forma contract is filled in, and then they and then they
no, that part I didn't know, guys.
No, there is, and I think I saw it in one of the social media platforms. Well, there was whatever the name of the consulting company is or person. I was like, oh, okay, so now what is the purpose? Like,
so that probably is in the level of where Tatumdano a politician or businessman or whatever, you know. It must be at that level where contracts.
But see, Kakate, when the lobola negotiations, there are notes that are being taken,
notes that are taken.
like in minutes.
Yeah, the minutes and minutes are just for us, when we come back again, we must remember about besiphele
agenda.
Okay, besiphele apha mkhozi. Now ngokuthini inkqubo mkhozi nizothini besifana basihamba kulo line. But omkhozi mhlawumbe baze bona besithi man asikwazi uqhuba kule line ngenxa ka ABCD. Yabo. So the minute taking is for those purposes.
I imagine that maybe some migrants might use it. You know, this Polish guy who's trying to marry Xhosa lady, this guy from Poland might approach these guys to
for sure.
Oh yeah,
true. Yes, that's so true. That's so true. No, that's possibly, so true. Yeah. No, it is possible.
You've got more of those happening now.
Yes,
kinds of marriages. I don't know. Maybe
No, that's so true. Actually. Because because they will also want enlightenment before they go into the process.
Yeah.
Because
so these guys,
but also Kaloku.
Now I see what you mean. Yeah.
But also I would think that if you've got family members, if you've got brothers and cousins. Because that's what we do.
This guy's from Poland.
No, what I'm saying is, Aba involved as part of Zotina Onozakubak. We have the consultant because you don't understand the culture.
Okay.
Yeah, understand. But
you mean from
so
his...
that in the Polish this is a ubani and basapila because that's what happens when there's
I hear what you're saying, but of course, I mean the guys who will go and represent is the consultants, and maybe one brother
they
from
don't even speak the language. Because I mean, in my case again, I couldn't bring so many of my relatives, so there was one relative who came down. There was a guy who had been at school with who lived here. We had become like a brother. And then there was a couple of friends who I had been with at varsity. Then there were some elders that I had worked with. And I put together this whole team, you know.
And it's also very expensive in these days because, I mean, one is coming from Zimbabwe to all the way to Zwelitsha. I mean, and he had never thought that he would be in Zwelitsha at some stage in his
in
life.
That case, we had to go, in our case, we had to go to wait to see.
Yeah, you know.
Imagine.
So yeah. It's
also like
so now imagine now being African and being from here. How much more somebody from
Denmark exactly.
Whatever it is.
I know when my friends daughter was being loboted by people from KZN, they had to hire number one a bika because Nabasuka KZN.
Yeah.
And then they drove here, and then Klabefika Apa, like this was the first encounter. They had to go back without doing anything because they had this notion that bazofika bazophatha like but banyuka nengalo, so it's the yesintuka yesisu and then ngoku ibe le lokatha anizoqala ngalesi zenze niphinde nibuye ke ngoku
because these are different things.
Different things.
So those guys babe harsh. I mean, you can actually talk on two things and then ke ngoku baphinde baske babuye ngathi hayi izani for
they were so traumatized. I remember when we went to a funeral as like abakhozi, one of the uncles said, "Yo, amaXhosa sile, God, amaXhosa sile, because you guys made us drive all the way so many kilometers, then go back again, then have to come back again. Now we have to come back again for the last part." So
no, those guys are a bit too much. Okay, guys, the time now is 2:59, so we I think we're closing this topic. If you guys want to put WhatsApp on or here on on our streaming service, Facebook and YouTube, you can continue to do that. What we'll do, we'll read it as we go along, but in the next hour we're going to go into current affairs, very deep stuff that's happened this week. We're going to touch on some of the things that are dear in terms of the the political scene, things that people are worried about. We're going to go into a little bit of the impeachment that happened with the public protector, and possibly the appointment of the new public protector, where that is at, and all of those things. So we're going to be touching seriously on the current affairs matters, and that's what we'll be doing in the next hour. So the music I'm going to be playing,